Yo guys, what's going on? Tom42 here, or Chess My Lost Ark. Today I'm going to be doing another sort of guide video, support guide video using my Valkyrie on Serca. My Valk is kind of my second best support alt, so it can do a hybrid DPS and support build, but for today's video it's just going to be doing the support gameplay style. As usual, we're playing in a party with Sumzu, Tonga Truck, and Slades. We got 3 Valks in this party, so I'm just kind of navigating and hopefully showing you guys my POV for playing support on Valk on hard mode Circa. So hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe, like all that good stuff, and leave any feedback from me that you have, because I'm certainly not, the complete expert on Valk, but I think I generally have a good sense of what to be doing with my Valk. I think my uptime typically on Valk is pretty good. It's like 95. It always hovers around 94, 90 to 95 uptime for both brand and the DPS damage buff. So let's just get right into it. The video. Gate 1 and Gate 2. So we're starting off again with the very first mech. Um, Again, what you're doing is you want to full send your top buffs. If you want, you can dark. The boss is always standing still. Here, just hug the boss either front and back. Shield your allies because sometimes they'll get knocked up, especially if there's certain skills on certain kits that will, what is it? They'll do like a little bit of recoil and then they can't get out. There's chandelier there. If I back up a little bit, the chandelier, I noticed that one of my allies got hit. If you see that one of your allies get hit, immediately try to DR them. Because it will damage them afterwards. Avoid the front. Using my awakening because I expect that we're going to be hitting the next mech, but this is just follow her, so hopefully no one got hit. So even though I used my awakening early, before this part, I think it's completely fine. She's just going to close the arena and start aggroing someone. So as soon as you figure out which side the person's going to be going, just stay on the other side. Now, unfortunately, only one person is ranged, so we're just kind of sitting here. But I'm just trying to build up meter as best I can from that range. Can always DR this mech if you know that you won't be able to make it to the safe spot in time. Always hit the guards here to help with the stagger meter, of course. This is counter. Hit a bit earlier, but luckily Sumzu got that. This pattern I still have a hard time reading, but eventually you just follow the where it was previously not a safe spot. I don't know, I think it's just best if you have any push immune skills with some shields. It's always the best. So, in general. So, just reminder here, this particular mech, this mech, try to save your cleanse skill. I know I don't use it, I don't save it here, but try to save your cleanse skill, just in case people get caught. You always have your sacred charms in case to free people if they missed a guard, but always keep that in mind. Otherwise, you're just trying to maintain good uptime throughout the entire kind of gate. I learned finally that you want to stay as close to the boss as possible. Maintain your buffs too for people who are greeting. You know that this one's going to be fake because the first two were real the first time around, so these should be fake. Notice that no one actually got caught, so it's good. Everyone's in Mechnor. This mech, you can stay in front as long as you DR and shield yourself, but try to move out of the way afterwards. I don't like eating mechs in general. That's kind of my, you know, if I could just dodge it, then I'll dodge it, but don't just push immune it if you can avoid it. At least that's how I like to play. Doing another round of aggro and dodging. Boss is gonna be a little bit far, so just do your best. Some people will get knocked over by those wheels, so just be sure to have DR for them in case. Here, right before, I realized I can't really gain any meter right here, so I'm just trying to do some last minute buffing before the cutscene.
Creation can be a painful process, especially for you.
Slamming doors, I think you guys already get this part, so go across the other side. I generally try to use my spacebar just to make sure I don't get clipped by it. You know, oftentimes people get clipped by it. You just go all the way up. Once you get full meter, pop those buffs. Make sure you get out of the front side. And then it's going to be, you can swing it back. I am using push immune. As I said, dark here, it's a good window. Maintain uptime. Minesweeper. Ping for your allies if you can, but since we're in a Discord call, we could always just call each other out on where the safe spot is. Red Mech, Pac-Man. Ensure we hit the guard. Get out of the way. If anyone gets caught, be ready to use DR skill with shields. Leak a cauldron pattern, just try to avoid. It's pretty easy. I think most players, I think if the cauldron points at you though, you just use some push immune. It's usually what I do. Another Minesweeper. As a support, just trying to figure out the spot, ping for the rest of the DPS, especially if it's far away. They're not going to pay attention if they're, you know, greeting DPS, and that's completely fine. This mech, just try to provide shields. I know I already use my shield skill, but sometimes DPS are going to be a little bit too close, so just try to ensure that they have some shields in case they get hit. Checkerboards, I didn't realize one of our Valks was just going to soak it, but generally if you see one of them's going to soak it, I think just try to DR them or get a little bit of shields on them. And you see I'm getting out of the way because I don't have my push immune skill. Luckily the Valk support is very mobile, so very easy to maneuver everything and dodge. Slam doors, very easy, another game of minefield. Luckily Slade's got there first, so it's easy. We gotta hit the guard here. We go to brawl. Here, just send buffs since I don't have T skill up. Just make sure you send the buffs that you have. I had to use Stimmy because I actually didn't have my Z skill, so I had to reset it real quick, but now it is an opportunity for me to build the meter again. So I always like to try to use some skills in between here, between the guards. But I want to build up meter and pop it right away. So as I pop it, it was about 7 seconds until, you know, we had to finish the checkpoint. You just continue cycling through your buffs as efficiently as possible. More damage you do in this phase, the less you'll have to do on the outside. Make sure you save your hyper though. We're gonna go into this mech, where you guys know, hopefully know the hyper timing, but we'll go over it again. Generally, I like to do it in pairs so that there's enough spots. We're gonna parse from going up and then back down. As soon as the bomb jiggles, use your hyper towards the middle. It's a support, it's always good. Get to a safe spot. Fortunately, looks like Slade's used his late, and we realize that support hyper will not save you from that. These are all one shot. Here, just cycle through your buffs before she jumps in the air. Let you give your DPS a chance to just freely hit her. Someone try to ping where the safe spot is. As a Valk, you have really good counter, so just try to be the one that, you know, is paying attention to that. For this pattern, whoever's aggroed, I like to try to aim it at either the corners or just aim it at the opposite side so that your other members can just dodge around. Unfortunately, I got knocked up, but Yeah, this mech, you don't want to aim it at the safe spot where everyone needs to go to. Make sure for that fast reflex, gotta get the counter. And that's it for gate 1, really. Like, we're here speedrunning this with 3 Valks. That's all gate 1. You guys should hopefully learn all the normal patterns, but yeah, that's just how I'm thinking about it right now. Gate 2 is gonna be a little bit trickier, especially with this party, since we don't have very good stagger. But yeah, it's not bad. 94% brand, 94% buff uptime, so it's not the worst. Um, but yeah, you can tell I have a clean rotation of, just maintaining good uptime, trying not to get knocked up, and if you expect to get knocked up, just use your push immune skills, just based on the normal pattern that you see. All right, let's go to here. I think we failed like 1 run, but let's jump to the success run. So here, opener is always the same for gate 2. You just want to full send your buffs off rip. Here I'm bringing whirlwinds and the Serca specific item just to help push the stagger. And I'm pretty sure I am using vital point hit as well, just to make sure that we ensure that we get the stagger done. If anyone gets caught from this mech, someone needs to stand in front and hit the counter. Right here. So typically, like, even though my buff uptime was perfect at this point, I know it's gonna run out, but I'm sitting here just trying to guarantee that I hit the counter here. So I'm not paying. So I could have used this buff skill, but you see that no one else is gonna be able to hit it, so you just got to be able to do it. And that, I mean, it's gonna hurt your uptime, but obviously I play to have my people survive. That should be the first rule of priority of playing support, at least for me. Make sure you use my awakening too, just so that I could get the timer, the reset timer, the CD going. This is a good window to dark if anyone is carrying darks. I'm not carrying dark, so but I think our DPS is pretty good. That mech, right side, the boss's right side is safe, and then he's gonna turn. Just watch out for the puddles. Obviously, you saw I did a little bit of push immune so I wouldn't get knocked up. I knew I wasn't gonna make it. This is another right side safe. Avoid the puddles. 6 to the side. Continue to throw out your red skills just to build up meter. Spacebar pattern. Ping for your team where it is in case someone missed. No one missed. Always be in front, so as soon as you see that the boss is starting to do some sus stuff, I try to be the one who is at least staying in front as a support. You want to be the one that's playing the mech, so you see this, immediately get in the front, allow your DPS to keep on DPSing. 3 guards, and then there's going to be final counter right here. And this is because this is a static group, they all trust me to go hit it, so we're pretty well versed at this point. If you don't stand in front of the boss there. About to hit 140, I see, so I immediately just use my awakening. That way, I can get the timer resetting. Here, try to use your buffs because people can still damage it. Throwing my whirlwind and my Serca item, getting 1 extra skill. Focus on guarding. Make sure you ping where the safe spot is. This is triple guard. Focus on getting the guards and getting the meter down. I got hit, but luckily someone actually finished it for us. So we'll play it from the beginning again. Just so you guys see the sequence. So remember, it's guard, 2 or 3 skills maybe. Don't overgreed it. Swords down, so clockwise, ping the spot. Focus on guards, triple guard. Maintain some buffs and get some brand on. Guard again. Continue to use skills. Luckily we were able to finish it fast even though a few people got caught. Here you just want to stay behind. I know there's some folks who get knocked back from that. They stand too close, so just make sure you try to like DR them. And especially if your DR is push immune, then it even works out better. I can see from my Valk, I probably don't heal as much as I probably should. But you know, I think my static members do a pretty decent job dodging in the first place. So, but just to know, you do want to heal when you do notice your DPS members kind of dropping in health. Here, spacebar mech. After it swipes, you see the front and back indicators. Notice we hit 190 bars. Boss is going to step back. If you guys remember the sequence, you do a large AoE. As a Valk support, you want to get to the front so you can hit the double guard. And then you step out. Wait for the boss to hit the middle before getting ready for the counter. So you have to dodge, you have to spacebar back through to get the counter. And then there's the last guard sequence. So here I already spacebarred in for the double guard. Let the DPS grind it out. Here, I just use my push immune skill to make sure I'm actually there. Look to land the counter, stay in front for the guard. Here, just make sure you're not, especially if you're close to some other ally, just make sure you're not running in the same direction. Otherwise, those roots are gonna stun you. I do not want to use my awakening here, so at this point I'm just trying to use my shield, just general shields, and any DR skills that they might need in case someone gets caught. Use my awakening there because I saw that we were actually getting close to the stagger bar. I wanted to make sure that I had full meter before going in, even though I wasn't going to have T skill ready. So at least one of those buffs would be on. Going into Brawl, call out who's darking. Maintain decent uptime, so T skill, Z skill, one of your buffs, as well as a brand. Make sure you land your guards. Here, just recycle again. Try to build up the meter as fast as you can. Pop your T skill as soon as it's back off CD. I decided not to use Stimmy here yet, because I realized that we're pretty far ahead in DPS. I probably don't need to, as long as I maintain just good uptime, should be okay. And I still pop it with like 7 seconds left anyway, so another round of my Z skill. My buff. Sometimes oftentimes people will be able to use throw 2 darks, which I like better. It just helps DPS the boss a little bit more. But one's really needed. Clones, again, you're just finding the right clone. You see dark shadows versus the one that looks not translucent, so just need to be aware about that. Don't tweak. Maintain buffs here. Try to be sure to use your T skill because most people do hyper here. When they see the puddles, that's the timing to use your hyper, so that's why the T skill just gives everyone extra damage for that. Here, this is out, in. So that mech, sorry, I missed it. Yeah, this is out, in first. This is when you want to start playing around the front a little bit more. So yeah, you see the pentagon with lasers. I'm the only one here, so you gotta make sure you stand out in front of the guard. This is one where it's aggro on someone, so you want to make sure you probably don't stand in front. But as a Valk, you're pretty good with kind of dodging stuff. Spacebar pattern. As a support, I'm usually the one that stands in front, but you wait for the second proc. It's always the second one. So the second, like, cockback of her sword, of the boss's sword, is when you hit the counter. It was like blue, or red, blue, red, so. Here, when the boss starts to throw down the lines, just try to, like, shield as best you can if you have it up. Some people take some damage here. Oftentimes, this is just smacking it until the stagger is finished. Decide to awaken here just because so that my DPS members don't take damage from trying to do the stagger in case they get hit by the swords. If you have whirlwinds, it's always a good mech to just throw whirlwinds because the boss moves around so much. If you get the stagger down faster, DPS don't have to keep on chasing it. This mech again. Just send your buffs because you want to get ready for the cone damage. If you meet that DPS requirement, so the extra buffs will just help. Spacebar mech. Stay in front. This is just dodging her front side, honestly. If you see any allies that get caught by it, just use your DR skill or shields. Boss is almost dead, but this pattern is a little bit tricky. This one, you could go all the way out and not deal with it, but if you spacebar to the middle of the sword, right where the sword is, you will actually avoid getting stunned. So, just a destruction check. Should have probably tried DR a little bit better, but I mean, we don't have enough destruction, and I think I was just running out of mana too this part. But yeah, I had my DR up, but let's see. Yeah, I use my DR just on anyone who's in this area. Luckily, everyone survived, but yeah, that mech's tricky. You have to spacebar towards the sword as soon as the boss slams it down, or just run all the way out just to try to meet the destruction check. So there you have it. I don't want to keep the video too long. There's the clear. As you can see, I had 96% brand efficiency and then 95 or 96% buff up time, so pretty good run. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys got some good insight into kind of the support POV from the Valk perspective on Hard Circa, same sort of principles apply to normal mode, so no worries if you're still just running normal mode. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, as I said, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.